Goody. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Apologies about the slight delay. Game had crashed and have had to redo the stream, but we are here live for part one of the Triple Crown, ladies and gentlemen. So it's nice to have you with us. Nice to see you all here on this glorious Wednesday evening. Triple Crown time start of this one. We normally do 100% to Monaco. We was going to do 100% to Monaco, but a few drivers wanted a track change and we've given them the track change. And we are at the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve here in what is a wet Canada today for the first qualifying, for the only qualifying, should I say, of the night. We've got 14 drivers here who are all going for the part one of the Triple Crown, a trophy that will be done over the Daytona 500, as well as the Nordschleife 24-hour coming up in the future weeks to come. It's going to be an absolutely cracking evening of racing here around Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. We've got Fiori out on track. In fact, we'll go from the top. Rabbit Joe's out on track as is Fiori. Lucas Roth, aka Keegs, is with us out on track. Mazda still currently in the pits. Welshie out on track, as is Son Goku. Lion Fernie making his Simplay debut tonight. Just coming out the pit, Smoky Devil's already out on an outlap. Big Boy Brazier on an outlap, as is that Bozzy Boy Daniel Francis Argent. DJ Phil still in the pits, and Dean Wasocki still going out on track as well. So here, Circuit Gilles Villeneuve then, as Dean will be the first one to start his lap. In fact, I think Son Goku might be actually as well. 14 drivers here for the 24-hour race, and what a cracking job with this. Oh, and there, that's already an Alfa Romeo, and I think that could be that Bozzy Boy, who, yeah, has already got caught up in Dean's lap and sort of had a mistake there. He's already had another spin as well, so not what that Bozzy Boy would have wanted then at the start of his Triple Crown. Let's carry on with, let's go and check out Son Goku, who was on his lap. Flying at the moment, will be the first one to set a lap. Son Goku, my son Floyd, of course, who you may have seen in the 100% race of Mexico for the Ectopic Pregnancy Trust late last year. After season one, got a top 10 on his Simplay debut. He's back again for a 100% race around Canada. So how will Son Goku do in what is the youngest driver lineup on the grid tonight? Him and Keegs, 9 and 14. So a great shout out to these guys. Tricky conditions here at the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. So let's see what we can get through this bit here then, as they're coming down towards where they need to be straight away. Down to the chicane. Bozzy Boy's retired from the session, so he's out. That's not what he'd have wanted. So that Bozzy Boy out. Son Goku doing a 125.1 here on the intermediate tyre. Now, tyre choice will be given to the drivers. As you see, Lucas Roth going quicker than that, and Big Boy Brazy then out doing that one. Rabbit Joe Fiori's just gone into P3. Dean Wasocki currently 5th on track, just battling it out with Fiori into turn one. Oh, and they touch each other going through turn one. Dean's already lost a bit of wing. Rabbit Joe then yet to do a lap time. Master still sat in the pits. Welshie then, what's he going to cross the line and do here in the racing point? Goes P5 quicker than Dean Wasocki at the moment. Lion Fernie has Rabbit Joe just in front of him, and around the final hairpin, DJ Phil's come out to do his outlap. Daniel Francis and Rabbit Joe and Mazda still currently sat in the pits. Guys, 8 people watching, get your thumbs up on this video and get your comments in the stream. Let me know how you feel tonight's F1 race is going, as Lion Fernie looks like he's backed out of that one. They'll go for it maybe on the next run then, as Rabbit Joe will cross the line in a moment. Oh no, he's come back into the pits. Argent's gone P8 at the minute. Smoky Devil's into P6. Oh, he's had a problem into the wall. I can't drive in the rain, says that Bozzy Boy. I know we've been trying traction control on medium. You might want to crank it back up to full for the wet races here. Oh, Son Goku, as we just jump on board him. Massive moment coming on the exit to the final chicane. Must have hit the wall of champions and bounces across the track. Smoky Devil is retired. He's retired, but will start P6 in this qualifying session. Floyd going backwards. That will probably disqualify him if he's not going back to the pit lane. Oh, he's turning around here. Lucas Roth currently P2 on track. DJ Phil and Daniel Francis on an outlap. Leon Fernie came back into the pit lane as well. There as is Master still sat in the pits. Daniel Francis and DJ Phil then on an outlap. And for Son Goku, he's got to go round to get back to the pits to get that wing fixed. Fury still sat in P3. He's in the pits at the moment. Lucas Roth and Big Boy Brazier both out on track. Welsh's still P5 at the moment. He's gone up. He stayed there, sorry. Argent's just gone into P5 as he's crossed the line. Dean Wysocki back in the pit lane after one lap. Will these drivers change onto a different tyre, maybe using a second tyre choice, or you can use as many intermediate tyres? I think you get 3 sets of inties and 1 set of wets to use in qualifying here. I just got a text off Mazda, who's actually not set a lap time yet. His qualifying is messy. Just asking him when he's doing his lap. As we see Rabbit Joe currently on screen on an outlap. Daniel Francis is now on a flyer as he's just coming through some of the traffic there. That is Lion Fernie. He's just come through. Ooh, who's had a spin in the background? Daniel Francis in the Williams tonight. So 14 drivers, 7 teams represented here, and all drivers was picked based on a team through a random name generator, a bit like we did for GT Sport last week in the World Cup. Daniel Francis here for the Williams team. And the times you can see on the side, as that's a Racing Point, very, very wide. That's Rabbit Joe just coming on his outlap as well. So Big Boy Brazier got paired with Fury in the Mercedes, Lucas Roth and Son Goku in the Haas, Argent and Wash in the Racing Point, Smokey Devil and Leon Fernie in the Renaults, Dean Wysocki and Daniel Francis in the Williams as DJ Phil bangs in his first lap of the race and goes P6. DJ Phil and Mazda in the McLaren, Rabbit Joe and that Bozzy Boy, teammates last year in Season 1 of course, in the Porsches in Pro-Am, both making their way up into the Pro category when Season 3 starts in a few weeks' time. But here tonight in the Alfa Romeo as Daniel Francis goes P4, so very good lap that from Daniel Francis. Here comes Rabbit Joe just through turns 1 and 2, and he's going to come down towards the sector one time. Let's jump on board for a quick lap into turn 3 and 4. Apologies about that short little delay there as Jamie Brazier sets the fastest time through turn 3 and 4. Into turn 5 and 6 you come now. Very tricky, as late on the power as you dare, and Joe's getting very twitchy there, and he's now onto the power. And you see the dry line where the drivers are going. On the brakes, Joe seeming to be using the manual gears maybe here, and that's something he might be learning how to use. In towards the hairpin corner now, where Robert Kubica famously had his nasty accident a few years ago. Onto the power now, and you see him trying to get the traction out the corner, but with the wet tyres, the intermediate tyres on, it's very, very slippy. Master Leon Fernie still in the pits, not set a time. Rabbit Joe still yet to set a time. Son Goku has gone up into P5, so he's improved on his time as DJ Phil improves again. He now moves up into P5. And here comes Rabbit Joe. Down the start straight he goes. What's his time going to be as he crosses the line? Good enough for P3. So Rabbit Joe put in a very, very good claim in at the moment. Dean Wysocki is out on a lap so far, so let's see what he can do. Coming through to the hairpin, 8 seconds up on his best delta, and that's what he needs. Oh, he's very, very deep at the hairpin corner there. Gets back on the power now out the hairpin, and down the straight he goes towards the final chicane where the famous Wall of Champions is. Leon Fernie back on an outlap yet. Mazda still not come out the pits. There is 8 minutes 12 seconds remaining in this one. So it's going to be interesting to see what Mazda can do. Hard on the brakes, Dean Wysocki through the chicane. Try and get as close to the Wall of Champions as you can. Maybe not try and brush it like Dean did there, but he's going to cross the line here. And what's his time going to be? Good enough to put him up into P5 ahead of teammate Daniel Francis. Only half a second off the back of Rabbit Joe. So Dean Wysocki really staking a claim here for what he wants. For the first time today, Mazda out on the circuit. Change of helmets for him. The white, green and pink helmet of Mazda in the McLaren. Many people's favourite for this race with Big Boy Brazier. Another favourite is DJ Phil, and what looks to be, oh, that's Welshie as well, Argent in that mix. Mazda may just want to back off a little bit here. You feel there's quite a lot of traffic. His teammate stays out the way. That's Welshie staying out the way. So I think Argent is the one then that's in front, so he's quite a way in front of Mazda. What does Argent do? He's on a lap. He's going to dive into the pits, and Mazda then does have a free lap. Now, many people's favourite for this race. Let's jump on board and see how good a lap Mazda can do here then, and let's take you on board through the circuit Gilles Villeneuve. So down in towards turn 1 and 2 we go. Pick up the apex, a bit slow. You've got to be patient around here. Oh, he's gone a bit deep at turn 2. Got to be so patient around there. I know he's got a bit deep, but you've still got to be ever so patient on the throttle. Pick up, turn 3 and 4. Again, quite quick through here in the dry, bit temperamental in the wet, close to the wall on exit. Now you come into this little right-hand kink of 5, up towards 6 and 7. Green flags flying, so someone must have had a moment then. Oh, he's gone deep again there as Mazda at the moment, this moment in time. And a bit squirrely on the rear of the car there. Away he goes now though, power back down, he's able to pull away here. Let's see, in towards the chicane. This chicane can catch a few people out. Find the 2 apexes, beautifully done. Yellow flags ahead, so that may affect Mazda's time, but there's a green flag from the steward. So I wonder if there's just a slow car on track into the hairpin now. Easy to run deep here. Mazda gets his braking point easily done. Now, where do you find the power? He finds the power there. Back end, you just feel very squirrely when you get back on the throttle then. As Fury's gone pole at the moment, Fury then takes the pole away from Big Boy Brazier at 20.314, so only a couple of hundredths quicker than Big Boy Brazier. Into the final chicane, kiss the wall of champions maybe, gets very close to it, nicely done from Mazda there, and he's coming down the start straight now. And only goes P5, so Leon Fernie's up into 4th, Mazda only goes P5. But he can get another couple of runs in this. Joe's in the pits, Dean's still out on a lap, but he doesn't look like he's pushing too hard there. Daniel Francis currently on the lap as well, and Welshie currently bringing up the rear. The Smoky Devil and that Bozzy Boy will bring up the rear of the grid, don't forget, not of qualifying. Welshie bringing up the rear of qualifying if the cars are all left in it. Smoky Devil and that Bozzy Boy DNF from qualifying, but Smoky Devil will go through as Dean pulls out the way there. And as Dean stops, no, he's still going. Should be able to get back to the pits. I wonder if he's ran out of fuel. Should be able to get back to the pit, should Dean. But let's see Daniel Francis then. He's currently on a fast lap at the moment. Now, what can he improve by? Where can he go? Just a couple of seconds to go up above his teammate Dean Wysocki. Good exit through the final chicane, and down the start straight he goes. Let's see what his time's going to be. Does improve. Improves 1.9 seconds to go ahead of his teammate. Big Boy Brazier currently on a lap. He's currently down on his time though. Let's see what he's going to do across the line. He's improved, but it's exactly the same time as his teammate. So the two, oh wow, and Mazda the first man into the 119s with a 119.2, 1.1 quicker than Fury and Big Boy Brazier. Then I was just about to say Big Boy Brazier had got the same time as his teammate, but Mazda there has smashed it. Lucas Roth now on a lap. Let's see what he's capable of. Coming through the hairpin, very, very gentle. There's a Williams slow just before the middle sector then. You see the yellow flags on the track map. That's also an Alfa Romeo slow. Well, that'll be Daniel Francis and Rabbit Joe, the two that are slow. Maybe just backing out the way of traffic so that the cars can get through. DJ Phil on an outlap, as is Rabbit Joe and Fury. We saw Daniel Francis finish his lap a minute ago. He may be coming back into the pit lane, but here comes Lucas Roth. Any improvement for him? No, 3 tenths down on his time. Daniel Francis then trying to get back to the pits. Argent currently on a lap. He doesn't appear to be on a flyer. Son Goku, he's going to come back into the pit lane. Let's have a look at Welshie then. Yellow and green helmet from his good old yellow and green Lamborghini days in Season 1. He looks to be taking it a bit cautious as well. Now what's Mazda going to do here then? Is we're going to go. Is he going to come back into the pits, or is he going to finish his lap time into the pits? Mazda decides to come, and Big Boy Brazier. Mazda pits, Big Boy Brazier finds 1.1 seconds, and Mazda then now just a couple of hundredths off the back of Big Boy Brazier here, not too far off the back of him. But Big Boy Brazier currently the man on pole. Mazda second, Fury P3, he's on an outlap. Lucas Roth's in 4th with Leon Fernie P5 at the moment on an outlap. Rabbit Joe, new set of, oh, he's on the wet tyre, is Joe. Well, that's obviously a slower tyre here, so I'm not sure what Joe's going for here, but I wouldn't imagine he's going to improve on the wet tyre then. That's the slower tyre for me. As he's diving back into the pits, and oh, just gives Kieran a bit of a, or Welshie a bit of a ram up the chuff. As Dean Wysocki's on 3-lap old intermediates. I'm surprised he's not changed them for fresher tyres. Argent coming through turn 1. Here comes DJ Phil, 10th down on his lap at the moment then. Through sector 1, let's watch him through sector 2 in the McLaren. Teammate on the front row of the grid at the moment. Can he get up that order? Through the right left chicane, nicely done that from DJ Phil. What's he going to be as he comes up towards sector 2? Has he improved on his time at all in this middle sector. No, he's lost 6 more tenths, so he's got to find some time in this final sector. A couple of tenths here will put him above Kieran Argent, as that is the Mercedes of either Big Boy Brazier or Fury just behind. DJ Philbin down the back straight. No DRS, don't forget, qualifying not dry enough for DRS, as we've got 1 minute 31 left, so about time for one flying lap each from everybody. Rabbit Joe in the pits has got to get out there, so is Mazda, Son Goku and Woshi, if they want to get another flying lap in. And DJ Phil's going to cross the line now, and half a second down on his time, so no improvement there. Fury crosses the line and doesn't improve as well. Just looking at who else is out there on track. Argent, he's going to finish a lap. He was a second up through that final sector. And what's he going to be as he crosses the line? 7 tenths. So he's improved his time, but he's still 8 tenths down on Dean Wasocki, who's 2 tenths up on his time coming through sector 1. Getting towards the middle sector now. Tricky chicane to do here, Dean. Seeing improvements from Dean all the season too, in terms of getting on the wheel and improving his racecraft and everything as he's been going along. So it's been nice to see people, you know, going on the wheel and getting a bit better and getting quicker. This is going to be fun, says Bethany Duffin upstairs, helping Floyd out today in his race. People in the pits will not get a final lap in. Mazda's on an out lap, so we'll have to keep an eye on where Mazda is. But both McLarens are at the hairpin, so he may get one run in here, Mazda. But let's see what Dean Wasocki's going to do then. Was a couple of tenths up, don't forget, middle sector. I didn't see what his sector 2 time was through the final corner. Could have gone a bit wider and a bit quicker. There's a Renault stopped. That'll be Leon Fernie stopped. He's gone up into P3 as Leon Fernie. And Dean Wasocki does improve 8 tenths of a second and has moved himself back up into P7. Now DJ Phil, is he going to get a lap time in? 3, 2, 1. No, so this will be Leon Fernie's final, DJ Phil's final lap and Fury's. And no improvement from either of them. So they are both done then. And you see there the gap towards the leader, 0.09 of a second between Mazda and Big Boy Brazier. Oh, as DJ Phil retires from the session. I think DJ Phil maybe got a time in there, you know. I think he did get a bit of a chance to have another run. He'll start 10th, though, in this qualifying session. That is a Williams getting out the way. That'll possibly be Dean then. So Big Boy Brazier, Lucas Roth, Rabbit Joe, Son Goku and Welchie all finished at the minute, as is that Bozzy Boy, Smokey Devil and DJ Phil Green. There's another Williams round. That looks like Daniel Francis as well. What can Mazda do here then? 0.09 of a second he needs to take pole position in the 100% Canada race for the Triple Crown. Down the back straight in towards the final chicane. Brilliantly taking, good exit, not using any of the curb. On the power he goes. Top 3 separated by 8 tenths. Mazda crosses the line and takes pole at the very last chance of asking. What can Leon Fernie do? He needs to find 0.8 of a second from Mazda in this one. Can he improve to get on the front row of the grid? The Renault looking extremely quick. He's backed out and he's headed to the pits. Fury looking slow. Dean's in the pits. Daniel's in the pits. Argent then the last man on a lap. But Mazda, what a stellar lap that was then. Here comes Argent. Any improvement from him needs to find 0.9 of a second if he's going to move up to P8. And can't do it. 2.2 slower that time around. But for Mazda then, it's pole position for him. I think we're just awaiting Fury to get back to the pits or across the line. But Mazda at the minute taking pole position. Fury's not quick enough so far. He's at well down on the time. 1 minute 58 already. So he's going to come back into the pit. So Fury will start P4 here. But it's Mazda then, the man on pole. And what a job he's done. Pole position for Mazda in this race. Triple Crown, obviously the Daytona 500 coming up next week, next Wednesday or Thursday. Keep your eyes out for that one. And then the Nordschleife 24-hour for Cancer Research UK charity in honour of Sabine Schmitz on the 30th of April, 1st of May. This is the first part of the Triple Crown, and I must say Mazda has already kicked things off in great fashion. Big shout out to Big Boy Brazier. What a job. He's going to be joining me in the commentary box. It's Big Boy Brazier tomorrow. But look at this. Hang on. Leon Fernie, 5th place grid penalty. Rabbit Joe, 5th place grid penalty. So Leon Fernie will start all the way down in P8. Rabbit Joe will start P11, I think, here. So all of them guys will get promoted a couple of spots. Lucas Roth will be all the way up into P 4, with Fury being promoted to P3, and then for the guys behind, Leon Fernie, Rabbit Joe, Select, Dean Wasocki and Daniel Francis could get 2 promotions here, not just 1. In this one then, Son Goku out qualifying Welshie. Obviously we lost Smoky Devil early on due to an instant him crashing out, so that wasn't what we wanted to see. And for that Buzzy Boy as well, what was the grid penalties for, the incidents for? So just having a look, grid penalty for Rabbit Joe, collision with Welshie, and we didn't get to see what the grid penalty for Leon Fernie was, although I should be able to look back on my monitor next to me when that decides to. Obviously, a slight delay between live feed to YouTube, so let's hopefully get that going so we can see that one, as it's a sunny Canada for this race. I was tapping Welshie. It was for tapping Welshie for going into the pit, says Joe. So that's what Joe got his penalty for, his grid penalty. And Leon Fernie collision with Fury, so that's what he got his grid penalty for then. Easily done here, as we await the drivers to ready up then. And we await 7 seconds, so we are just waiting the drivers to ready up. There will be a formation lap to get the tyres up to temperature and the brakes up to temperature as well. Don't worry if you see cars getting disconnected from the warm-up session. That will just purely be because, as you see there, that Buzzy Boy disqualified from the session. Ignore that. That will just keep him on the grid until the end of the parade lap then. So Mazda leads us off from Big Boy Brazier. Fury up to P3 with Lucas Roth. There's your pit strategy. Soft, 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 medium. 3-stopper or soft, soft, medium, medium. It'll be interesting to see the different types of strategies. And Daniel Francis disqualified. Leon Fernie disqualified. Joe Welshie, Smoky Devil, that Buzzy Boy. They'll all be sat waiting on the grid here. And for Mazda, he leads them away around from Big Boy Brazier. Fury P3, Lucas Roth's 4th, Dean starts 5th with Daniel Francis starts 6th with Leon Fernie down 7th, Argent's 8th with DJ Phil 9th, and then everybody, Son Goku 10th, Rabbit Joe 11th, Welshie 12th, Smoky Devil 13th, that Buzzy Boy 14th. So it's going to be an interesting fight here as we see everybody coming round. I say everybody, half the field coming round. 70 lap race, so we're in for a long night here. And we're in for what is going to be an absolutely fantastic race then. As Mazda backing the field up. There's again, once more, the predicted strategy. So lap 16, if you go in on the softs. Soft to soft. Keep an eye on the interval time then. So the car's being brought round now to line up on the grid for the end of this. Now, interesting tyre strategy here. I'm noting Kieran Argent starting on the medium tyre. Now, obviously, guy's got free choice with it being a wet qualifying. The guy's got a free choice of tyre strategy. And Kieran Argent, one man that's looking to go long here then. We're 1 light, 2 light, 3 lights, 4 lights. And it's go, go, go here. And no one seems to have gone at the moment. I'm not sure if there's a bit of a delay, but the lights are out and nobody is moving on my screen at the moment. Oh, the lights out and away they go now, so I'm not sure if the lights come on early on my screen or what, but they are away now, and away we go down in towards turn 1. Mazda has not got a great start, but the 2 Mercedes boys have, and it's Big Boy Brazier who leads from Fury, going back down the pack. That's Dean Wasocki, who's very wide, losing a couple of positions there. Son Goku, great start from him, already up into P8, ahead of DJ Phil and Daniel Francis. Rabbit Joe didn't get off the line well. Smoky Devil, what happened to him at the start? He's dropped out a couple of positions already. That Buzzy Boy's past Welshie and is making his way up through the field. Lucas Roth and Leon Fernie having a great little scrap here. Leon Fernie up into P4 after his 5th-place grid penalty, so making up for lost time. But already the 2 Mercedes are away at the moment. And if we change the gap to the leader, we can see already they've got a second over Mazda. Big Boy Brazier and Fury will want to win this 100% race, but they are not pushing their tyres. Yellow flags all the way down in Sector 2. What has happened here? Daniel Francis looks like he's had a bit of a moment maybe. Damage on reduced, so the driver shouldn't get too much damage as Smoky Devil taps him in the rear. And what is that Bozzy Boy, I think, the man who caused the yellow flags, and he's already way down the pack. Well, she's had a moment as well. That Bozzy Boy then down the pack. Something's happened to Fury because Mazda's got through. Now, this is the interesting part. Tyre strategy is going to be all key here. Is Jamie going to push his tyres too early? Is Mazda going to conserve his tyres a little bit in this one? But so far, the Mercedes of Big Boy Brazier, cracking start. Fury on the back of Mazda, and as we change to Fury now, look at him right on the back of him. Lap 2 of 70 already. These boys flying at the moment. And Fury through the right left hand there. Great stuff to see. Back to Lucas Roth. He will want to get on the back of these, as will Leon Fernie. Dean's up to 6th place. A good start from Dean Wysocki. Yellow flag a bit further down the field between Smoky Devil, Welshie, and that Bozzy Boy. So that Bozzy Boy just struggling at the minute. Needs to get himself in a little groove, just clipping the wall. Says he struggles behind drivers on this game as Welshie all out through there. On board with Liam, that Bozzy Boy then. And he's got away well at the moment. Back to the gap at the front. Big Boy Brazier controlling the pace. Oh, Fury just a bit of a tap up the rear of Mazda there. Wants to get through. He's got Keegs gaining on him as well here. Keegs will want to show what he can do. Leon Fernie. Dean Wysocki's got DJ Phil, obviously teammates last season in the McLaren. And I tell you what, it's good to see DJ Phil in the McLaren. Dean in the Williams then. What can Dean do over DJ Phil at the moment? Son Goku still in front of Kieran Argent. He's been overtaken by Rabbit Joe. As Big Boy Brazier does the fastest lap of the race, and Dean great through the chicane there. Not making use of his exit, but great through the chicane. Argent's got past Daniel Francis then. Little scraps bit just behind here. Look at Son Goku really hunting down the back of Rabbit Joe. Son Goku doing absolute bits at the moment to make sure he keeps on Rabbit Joe here. And they look like they're gaining on DJ Phil just a little bit. But for Son Goku at the minute, he's doing a top job. Not bad for a 9-year-old at the moment. Runs with a few assists on to help him out. But I tell you what, great drive nonetheless. Argent, the man to keep an eye on though. He's on the medium tyre. Daniel Francis will be quicker in this early stage of this race, and Argent will know that. It's about keeping him at bay for as long as possible. That Bozzy Boy is then into the pits. In and out he goes. He's made one stop and he's gone onto the soft tyre. Now, is that wise? Would you have gone hard tyre this early with an incident and a pit stop? Interesting to see that there. Yellow flag up ahead. That is Argent and Daniel Francis. Have these two had coming together. Daniel Francis gets away now, and there goes Smoky Devil and Welshie then. Smoky Devil will be all over the back of Daniel Francis, up to speed a lot quicker. Is he going to send one into the hairpin? He does. He's having a look up the inside, and that is the move done. Great manoeuvre there from Smoky Devil. Big Boy Brazier already has DRS gap back to Mazda then, as Son Goku, as DJ Phil and Dean Wysocki here then, having a great little squabble. Rabbit Joe's on the back of him with Son Goku trying to keep with these guys then, as DJ Phil has got past Dean Wysocki, down in towards turn 1. Rabbit Joe, what can he do? Daniel Francis comes into the pits then already, so what tyre is he going to go on? That's going to be interesting to see his tyre strategy now. Will he change to the hard compound tyre or the mediums? But for Dean Wysocki here, just on the grass a bit there, he's got Rabbit Joe right behind him, mirror full of Rabbit Joe. My bad, says Daniel Francis to, sorry Kieran, my bad in the chat, as he's gone to the medium tyre then, Daniel Francis has. So interesting to see that. Look at this shot on the back then of Dean Wysocki. You can see already Rabbit Joe gaining and gaining. They both have DRS, and Joe looks like he's getting past Dean Wysocki on the outside there. Dean's had a bit of a wobble, and into the wall. Huge hit there, loses a bit of front wing. But through goes Son Goku. And that's that one done if you're Son Goku. Up into P8. It's a good strong start to this race. Rabbit Joe now can hunt down DJ Phil Green. Back to the... Oh, look at these guys. Fury, Lucas Roth, Leon Fernie, all in a train of 3 here. Big Boy Brazier still setting the pace. Mazda won't mind him setting that kind of pace. He'll be conserving his tyres, and he'll know that'll do him some good. Lucas Roth then has got past Fury round the outside of turn 2. Bit of a tap wheel to wheel there. And is this going to allow Leon Fernie through around the outside in towards turn 4? No, he backs out that one and thinks better of it. He's still looking though on the back of Fury. Lucas Roth now, Keegs aka up into P3. Can he stretch his legs away from these guys? Here comes Leon Fernie, door firmly shut from Fury, and Leon Fernie, it won't be the first time we've seen a Renault spin round there, but Leon Fernie then managing to keep P5. DJ Phil has a huge gap back to Rabbit Joe and Son Goku. Dean Wysocki, again clouting the wall heavily there. May need to come in for a front wing change. Welchie's up into P10 with Smoky Devil 11th. This is where Argent's tyres are now going to start to look good. 16 laps, Soft said they could do. Well, this is the time where Argent's... Oh, we've lost Dean. Dean's retired from the race. Huge impact into the wall. And Dean Wysocki is retired on lap 5 of this race. And could we see a safety car here? Oh, what a shame for Dean. That is not what he's going to be wanting to have done there then. We may have to get Dean in the commentary box. But I tell you what, that is a real shame if you're Dean Wysocki. Already the first car out of the race, lap 14. Yellow flag's flying. That Bozzy Boy is now a lap down. As I was saying, this is where Argent's tyres are really going to start to come to him here and are really going to start to get into their own rhythm, a bit of a groove. And he could be ahead, the racing point of that Renault and his teammate very, very soon. But we've lost Dean early on. Gap out front 2 seconds then. That Bozzy Boy has only just got past Dean Wysocki. No safety car needed for the time being. And on board Jamie Brazier, what can he do in this position? Bit of lag for him, so we're going to get off of him. Mazda's 2 seconds. He's got a bit of time back to Lucas Roth, who's still got Fury and Leon Fernie coming at him a little bit here. Leon Fernie trying to get some moves done. Just dropped off the back a little bit. Then, oh, there's a yellow flag down in sector 1, and that looks to be Argent again. Argent not having it all his own way at the moment in this race. He seems to be struggling a little bit, and Argent really isn't having the best time. I know he said he's trying the wheel for the first time on this, so he's really got to give it a good go here, but struggling at the moment. Smoky Devil up in P10, Haas in the back of Welsh. They've got a 4-second gap back to Son Goku. Son Goku doing absolute bits at the moment, out front on his own, and he's really looking good value for his money. Rabbit Joe's got past DJ Phil, and DJ Phil's now going to try and look to come back at him. 7 tenths of gap, another yellow flag. Oh, and that's one of the Alfa Romeos. It's not Rabbit Joe. It's that Bozzy Boy who's had a moment. So that Bozzy Boy really struggling today. Down in P13, he's 33 seconds off the back of Daniel Francis, and he's really struggling. Is that Bozzy Boy. Fury's within a tenth of Keegs here then. So what has Keegs done? Is he made a slight mistake somewhere, but he's within a tenth. And Argent into the pits for the hard tyre. That's an interesting tyre choice at the moment. So Kieran here then, into the pit lane for the hard tyre, or out he comes now should I say, for the hard tyre then. Now, that's an interesting strategy for me. He's obviously had another moment a bit just a short while ago. What's he got to do now on this tyre if he's to get anything out of this race? He's going longer, so that's going to be whether let's see what he can do or not. At the moment, real battle on track. Mazda starting to gain on Big Boy Brazier here. He's within that second now. Lucas Roth still has Fury and Leon Fernie on the back of him here, so it's a real good battle this for the final podium spots as well at the moment. And Fury has Leon Fernie looking to make a move here. Fury's going to try and cover that one off. Just covers it off. I think there may have been a bit of contact there. But Leon Fernie's up the inside now, and Fury will have the inside for the second part of the chicane, but Leon Fernie round the outside of him, gets that moved on. P4, great battle from these guys here. And that is job done if you're Leon Fernie. Now you hunt down Keegs, as Fury deep late on the brakes here, trying to make that move done. Yellow flag again at the hairpin. Now is that Rabbit Joe? No, Leon Fernie overtaken by Fury once again here, coming down to the final chicane, and that's that move done again by Fury. It's a good little battle this. I tell you what, Rabbit, that Bozzy Boy is having a torrid time at the moment. He's nearly being lapped by his teammate so far. Smoky Devil's gaining on the back of Welshie. Son Goku being caught by these two just slightly, but he's doing a cracking job at the minute to keep ahead of them. Son Goku is coming in for a pit stop then, so interesting to see that Bozzy Boy as well coming into the pits. What tyre strategy are these two going to go here? This could be an interesting one to see what strategy these are going to go. Floyd then going on to the soft tyre. That Bozzy Boy, again, on the soft tyre, 2-lap old soft tyre. So I'm not sure what that Bozzy Boy's tyre strategy is here. He's gone back in for more tyres. Surely he would have been better off putting the hard tyre on. Son Goku then on fresh rubber. Let's see what he can do. That gap back to Mazda's increased once more. And Leon Fernie still having a look at the back of that Mercedes. And let's see what he can do in terms of getting his way through the field here and getting his way up another position then, because I'm sure he's going to want to make sure he can get it done. Into the pits then comes Fury, so he's pulling the trigger on maybe then an undercut. So let's for this. At the moment, undercut chance here for Fury. Oh, and a wing change for Fury as well. So that is interesting. Fury change a wing. He'll lose a lot of time here. He's now been passed by Rabbit Joe. And Fury's going to lose a lot of time coming through that part of the track. He's also now behind DJ Phil. So Fury's going to be on a bit something of a recovery drive. And there you guys, you see on the side the amount of laps these guys have done on this tyre. 9 laps for everybody. Fury's on fresh rubber, so is Son Goku. Daniel Francis on 5-lap old mediums. Argent on 2-lap old hards. And that Bozzy Boy on 3-lap old softs, even though he's just pitted again. And here is, that Bozzy Boy looking to unlap himself from Smoky Devil. Now, he's got to be careful here as that Bozzy Boy, because if he gets in front, he's got to make sure he can pull away. He won't want to get a penalty here. Smoky just running a bit deep towards the walls then. Oh, and that Bozzy Boy all across the grass. He's really got to get his head in a rhythm as Liam here, as there is the remaining Williams of Daniel Francis. Oh, he's round as well. Look, exit to turn 1. And he gets going now. There will Argent pass him on the harder compound tyre. And here then come the leaders to lap them as well. Leon Fernie has passed Lucas Roth. Lucas Roth pulling the trigger on a pit stop then. Is this to cover Fury off? Fury had a wing change, don't forget, so he's got to try and cover him off somewhere. Nice stop from the Haas team then. Let's hope they've made sure the wheel nuts are done up tight on that car. So Floyd was in a minute ago. Rabbit Joe now up into P4 on the only guys, the top 4. Oh, in fact, look at that. Keegs at the pits. Whoa! Huge impact there. Keegs coming out the pit lane. And Rabbit Joe, who's ultimately now lost out to Fury and will lose out to DJ Phil. And that will do them tyres no good, spinning him up that bad. So he may have to make an early stop. But Rabbit Joe gets going now. What a shame for him. Bit of a tap from Keegs. But that Bozzy Boy still trying to unlap himself from Smoky Devil then. Can't seem to get the job done. Yellow flag. Is that for Rabbit Joe, who's just got going again? Not quite sure. That Bozzy Boy, oh, he's all over the grass there. And I'm not sure what that was from Liam, but he was all over the grass. Daniel Francis now into the pits. He's had enough of these medium tyres. Has he scrubbed them up too bad? Oh, he's in for a nose change. That's what he's in for. And he's going on the hard tyre here. So this will give that Bozzy Boy a chance to come round and maybe catch Daniel Francis. Gap out front, 1.6. It slowly comes down and builds itself back up again. That is Argent on the back of these two, who is a lap down. So he's not going to want to interfere in this little battle. Long way to go. That 12 of 70 here, so there's still plenty of time. And Mazda will want to make sure he's within a range of Jamie come the end of this race. Marathon, not a sprint. Rabbit Joe then, immediately after we said he's going to be in the pits because he's worn his rear tyres up, he is in the pit lane. Goes on to the medium tyre and a change of nose cone for Rabbit Joe. So that's interesting. See, he's lost out to Ocean Smoky Devil. Where is Son Goku? He's just coming down the start straight now. So will he get round before Joe is able to get out the pits? We saw what happened with Joe and Keegs a moment ago. And in fact, it looks like Joe could be back up ahead of Floyd. No, Floyd managing to hold on to his position. Floyd, though, on the soft tyre, should be on the quicker compound then as they go towards the back end, towards the middle part of this race. As you see Jono now starting to really gain on the back of Floyd in the middle sector of this lap, and he's looking up the inside. Well, really shoves one up the inside when there really wasn't an opportunity there. You saw how much Kirby had to take to get up the inside of Floyd, and I tell you what, that was a close call there, because Joe really sent one and there wasn't an opportunity then. And he's lucky to make sure he keeps that one on the track. He's lost even more places to Kieran Argent here. So strategy-wise for Rabbit Joe, not working out the way he'd want it. Argent 6 seconds in front of Rabbit Joe. He's also 8 seconds behind Son Goku. Oh, I tell you what, Son Goku's played a cracking strategy here. Could jump Smoky Devil and Welshie in the pits here when they come in to do their stops. Good to see Welshie out on track. Not dropped the pad yet, 12 laps in, so that's brilliant to see. Fury's pitted, so is Lucas Roth. Leon Fernie, Master, Big Boy Brazier. That gap for the lead is down to half a second. Now, when do these boys pit then? We've seen some really early pit stops. Some mandatory to change wing. Some, I don't know what for, but we're finding this interesting at the minute. Strategy is going to play a key in this race, and Mazda all over the back of Big Boy Brazier would have had a double DRS zone there as well. So now we get to see the defence of Jamie against the attacking Mazda. Then we saw Mazda take pole on his very final run, using all the curb to his potential there, and look at him flying at the moment. I think they're coming up to lap Floyd on the circuit, so Son Goku about to come a lap down in just a moment. But here then, Master looking good for his money. He's bided his time. Is he now gone right? Pit strategies coming through as Lucas Roth for the Haas F1 team, a 13.0, setting the fastest lap of this race. Great time there from Lucas Roth. Great stuff to see. And at the minute, Master doing exactly what Master needs to do here to make sure he gets in front of Big Boy Brazier. Double DRS, here we go now. Pit window open, lap 15. Pit window open, lap 15 to 26 for the soft tyre now. How badly are Jamie's tyres over Mazda? Son Goku has had to come into the pits. He's pitted not long ago. That's a shame for Son Goku then. Looks like he's fairly okay, unless he's on his pit exit. So Rabbit Joe gets past again, but he's now gone to the medium tyre, so he can go really long here into this race. But back to the battle for the lead. Pit window open for the soft tyre, so Mazda on Fernie, DJ Phil, Welshie and Smoky Devil, those guys who haven't pitted are now pretty much in that pit window for the soft tyre. Here goes Mazda with DRS. Jamie helpless to the DRS move there, and Mazda gets it done and gets it on the apex for the next corner. Great move from Mazda there then. That is the lead of this race, but it's not over yet, because Jamie will have DRS in the next part of the track. And don't forget, double DRS zone for Jamie, so he'll be able to get that one done. Let's see how much battery Mazda has had saved up here then. You can see on board Jamie not with a great deal, neither has Mazda then. So both using a heck of a lot of battery here. Jamie then with DRS wide open, as you can see there, and he's not going to have enough to get Mazda into this part. That looked like a very slow Renault coming into the pits, and indeed it was. Welshie as well in for his stop. So them boys are in for their tyre change. Pit window still open for the soft tyre there, you see on the side, on the 3-stop strategy. Now, did Mazda save enough in his tank regards to his tyres to kick while Brazier was gone on lap 1? Did Mazda keep it some in reserve to be able to keep Brazier at bay when he attacked him? And he's done just that at the moment. Son Goku gets past Welshie, gets past Smoky Devil, but hasn't got past Welshie yet, as he can't see the cars through the trees. There they appear now. Jamie still within DRS range then. On board with Jamie, DRS wide open here as they come through the middle sector of the track. You see him close in with DRS, but it's not enough here, and I think Mazda's had a great strategy then to keep them tyres going at this moment in time. Mazda looks like he's done a top job. He looks like he's gapping Jamie slightly here as well, does Mazda. So Mazda then really does seem to have kept his tyres in check and has done exactly what he needed to do here then. Down the straight there you go, Brazier, DRS wide open once again. Mazda here then doesn't really need to use his battery as much down this straight. He's not got to defend from Jamie as bad, and Jamie chucks one into the pit lane as quick as you can say supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. DJ Phil pit exit, he's made his stop then. When does Leon Fernie decide to pit? Is he going to come in this lap as well? Son Goku ahead of his teammate by 1.1 seconds. Leon Fernie decides to stay out yet again here, so keeping going at the minute. Smoky Devil has just got past Son Goku. Oh no, what's happened to Son Goku? Why is Son Goku in the pits yet again here? That's not what he needs to do. That's a third, fourth pit stop, I think, for Floyd here. Not really having the race he wanted then, is Floyd. He's really starting to ruin his race here. Mazda leads then from Leon Fernie, 20 seconds a gap. Big Boy Brazier came out P3, 5 seconds ahead of Lucas Roth in 4th. Fury's P5, with DJ Phil P6, just being lapped by his teammate. Argent's P7 on the hard tyre. He's going to have Rabbit Joe all over the back of him then. Rabbit Joe on the quicker tyre as well, so Rabbit Joe here looking the quicker of the two cars. Daniel Francis will now be gaining on the back of Son Goku then. That was his boys in the pits. That was it, boy, in the pits again here then, so that is another stop. And Smokey Devil then has just been given a 3-second time penalty warning. And that Bozzy Boy's putting the intermediate tyre on. What is Liam doing here? He's gone on the intermediates. What a strange tyre choice. Mazda out the pits he comes. There is Smokey Devil, who's just got a 3-second penalty. Mazda leads this race for Big Boy Brazier about the gap he was at before. Daniel Francis has been given a 3-second time penalty as well. But the interesting one for me is that Bozzy Boy's on the intermediate tyre. Why is he on that tyre strategy? I don't quite get Liam's thinking behind this here. He's on a tyre strategy that just isn't going to work at the moment then. You see Leon Fernie with Mazda right behind him then, so Mazda nearly had enough to get past, and he's jinked one way. Leon Fernie's already defended. Mazda will have DRS here and a double DRS zone. Mazda coming down, he's on the outside of Leon Fernie. Is this an overtaking manoeuvre? I don't think Mazda's going to look for it. No. Oh, he has. He's done Leon Fernie around the outside. Great manoeuvre from Mazda there then, and he's making this work an absolute treat. Big Boy Brazier still not through yet though, so he's still got work to do as Big Boy Brazier at the moment. And Mazda leads this race then, as we change back to the leaders gap. See Rabbit Joe's nearly a lap down, as Smokey Devil's just got past Welshie then. 4 P9 and 10. Floyd a lap down has Daniel Francis coming past him, so Floyd then losing out to P12 as Daniel Francis gets past him on the hard tyre. Floyd on the quick tyre. That Bozzy Boy, I still don't quite get his understanding here. There is a yellow flag middle sector, as well as... Oh, Fury's retired from the session. So, wow, safety car here. And Liam's had a massive spin, and I'm not surprised he spun. He's on the intermediate tyre, and Floyd and Daniel Francis have to take avoiding action there then, as that Bozzy Boy's been given a 5-second penalty with a severe collision with Son Goku. And everybody here then will have to slow down, go behind the safety car as Fury's crashed. Floyd's just clipped the wall. That allows Daniel Francis through. Not sure what Floyd's doing. But that Bozzy Boy, oh, he's round again. I don't quite get why Liam's on the intermediate tyre here. He's just burning his tyres up. We've got a Renault stopped at turn 1. No, we haven't got a Renault stopped at turn 1. I'm not quite sure. That might be Fury then, the yellow dot you see on screen. We're going to take just a short break here in this race while the safety car is out. I'm just going to quickly grab a drink and use the toilet. While the safety car is out, we'll be back in 2 seconds. Beth! Welcome back. Welcome back then, ladies and gentlemen. We have lost Argent from the race as well as Fury. And Welshie is DNF'd here, and I'm not quite sure what's happening at the moment. Here comes Daniel Francis and Son Goku. I'm not sure what's happened. I don't think Welshie's seen the car then. That Buzzy Boy as well is out the race. We're going to get these guys in for a quick chat, because I'm not quite sure what is happening here. The guys, yeah, I don't really know what's going on. We've just all of a sudden lost 3 or 4 cars in quick succession. Liam out, Fury out, Argent out, Welshie out, Smoky Devil back of the pack. And I'm not quite sure what has happened there, but something went horribly wrong. Fury says he got on the power too soon and went into the wall. Argent then crashed, and we saw then, well, that led to Welshie and Fury. That's promoted Son Goku to P8. He's pitted yet again with Smoky Devil as well. Rabbit Joe has hit Leon Fernie under the safety car. He's got a time penalty. And I'm joined in the commentary box now by Argent. Kieran, what's just happened? Not quite sure if Kieran can hear us at the moment. We hope to get Kieran with us. That Buzzy Boy has joined us as well. Liam, mate, you've DNF'd as well. What's happened there? Again, Liam, not quite sure if he's able to hear us. They're not fully through on the PlayStation yet, so I can't hear them. So we'll wait to be able to hear Liam and Argent, and hopefully we can get them in to be able to hear them then. But Argent's out this race, as is Welshie and that Buzzy Boy and Fury. Then so we're left with 9 drivers on lap 21. Mazda leads this race from Big Boy Brazier. Leon Fernie got a free pit stop and managed to come out ahead of Lucas Roth, who's pitted for the mediums, as DJ Phil. Daniel Francis goes up a place. Rabbit Joe's gone into the pits. Now, is this to clear his 5-second time penalty here then? And I'll just try one more, see if we can get through to him this time. Kieran, if you can hear me, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, you're here, right, we can hear you now. What's happened, mate?
To be fair, I'm really trying to control my emotions right now. I'm really annoyed with that one, but DJ Phil sort of pulled across the track when I'm coming across, and then obviously I've gone into him. Then I've overtaken Liam down the back straight when he's struggling on the inters. Got me a warning to slow down to let him back past, and then he crashed into the back of me.
So does that explain why Liam's out the race as well?
That would be, yeah.
Liam, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
What intermediates, mate? What's all that about? I saw you go on the intermediates. I thought it was a strange choice.
I don't know what really happened at that point. I just came out and realised I was on intermediates.
Yeah, we saw you at one point spinning round, and I reckon you burnt your inters up quite badly, to be fair, because you kept losing the rear of the car. Safety car is in this lap then, so Mazda will be the pace car to lead them all away. Son Goku and Smoky Devil up to P7 and 8. Then, so disappointing time. What happened to Welshie then, Kieran? Because as we came back from a quick break to get a drink, Welshie had ploughed into the back of you. Leon Fernie, 5-second penalty for collision with Big Boy Brazier. Sorry, carry on.
I think Welshie put it on pole, and obviously AI doesn't avoid collisions, so it just drove into me.
Oh, what a shame. Daniel Francis, penalty for collision with Son Goku as well. I think Son Goku's managed to get himself a 5-second penalty here then, but Mazda leads them away down towards the final chicane, so a lot of penalties out there. Mazda and Lucas Roth, the only guys without a penalty. Your race, Kieran, was going well before the DNF. Bit of a early pit stop to go on to the immediate second choice of medium tyres, and you decided to pit again for the hards, but your strategy looked a good one.
Yeah, no, I was aiming to go long, but I knew the change of weather was coming to mid to late in the race. So I thought I'd try and do to the change of weather on the same set of tyres, hence going to mediums. First lap I run on a hairpin at the end of towards the end of the lap, and then Daniel Francis, me and him had coming together in the same place. Me and DJ Phil collided, and then I tried ambitious move up the inside of I can't remember the car it was now, another car, which didn't work out, hence why I dropped back further, and then trying to recover.
So what you're saying then is weather on the way?
Weather is on the way, yeah.
Oh, so this race is going to get more interesting then. Down to 9 drivers left in this Triple Crown race. Liam, your race didn't seem to get going really, did it, mate? You seemed to be in the pits more time than you did laps on track.
I I counted within the first 5 laps. I was in. Wait, or was it between 5 and 8 laps? Within the first 5 or 8 laps, I was in the pits 3-4 times.
Yeah, you seem to be in the pits more times. I'm surprised you didn't try and change to the hard or medium tyre. Was that not in your thoughts? Just keep trying to get the soft tyre going?
No, I don't know this game that well. Honestly, I don't understand tyre compounds loads, especially when it comes to hard, medium, that. But I just did whatever Jeff told me, or
actually,
the guy told me.
Sorry to butt in there, Kieran. Speaking about the weather, it does look like it's starting to spit with rain here. Son Goku has done his pit stop, cleared his penalty, it looks like, as DJ Phil, both onto medium tyres, so we could see them back in sooner rather than later. Then Mazda leads this race by 1.8 seconds from Big Boy Brazier. Mazda's strategies played out absolutely brilliant, saved his tyres early on and got past him. Does anybody know what happened to Dean? Obviously Fury's commented in the chat saying what happened to him when he crashed out, but we don't really know what happened to Dean. We saw him at one stage.
The second chicane coming towards the second DRS zone, Dean, I think, run wide with no front wing and hit the wall.
Ah, right, so that will be what happened to him. Mazda, fastest man on track with a 112.1. He is flying at the minute. Big Boy Brazier, P2 from Leon Fernie, who's going to have Lucas Roth hunting him down, but Lucas Roth on the harder tyre than Leon Fernie, although Leon Fernie's tyres are 5 laps older than Lucas Roth, so Lucas Roth's mediums could be coming to him at this stage in the race. Daniel Francis up to P5 now on the softs. Rabbit Joe is into the pits. He's gone on to the soft tyre. 2 lap old soft tyre at that as well. While Son Goku coming down the back straight isn't going to be able to get past. The rain though is starting to fall here in Canada. DJ Phil has still got a time penalty to his name. And at the minute Mazda is really looking like the man to beat so far in this race. Lucas Roth though right on the back of Leon Fernie now as they're coming down towards the detection zone for the DRS on the back straight here. Deep goes Leon Fernie and Lucas Roth. A bit of DRS here for Keegs. The 2 DRS zones you get down this back straight and start straight then will not go amiss and could put him a bit closer to Jamie as well in terms of getting on the back of him and putting him under some pressure. And here goes Keegs, DRS wide open now, down the straight he goes, onto the brakes, through the chicane he goes, and Keegs up back onto the podium spots again. Bit of DRS to assist him to pull away from Leon Fernie, and with Big Boy Brazier's penalty here, Kieran, this is going to be something now that could cost Jamie later in this race.
Yeah, definitely. I would say it's a track of 2 halves. I feel like the first half is left, right, and the second half is just straight away. So, you know, the penalties could come back and bite me in the backside if he's not careful.
Leon Fernie's got back past Lucas Roth through the first couple of corners then. Lucas Roth will have DRS around this part of the track, and his car didn't sound too well. Everyone was just on board him just a second ago, but here goes Lucas Roth having another look. DRS open. I wonder if his mediums are just cooling down a bit more than Leon Fernie's soft tyre then, with the wet weather still continuing to come. Now, who pulls the triggers for the intermediate tyre? That Bozzy Boy pulled them earlier, but it was a bit too early for the rain. Who pulls the trigger first? Oh, Leon Fernie's gone round, and that's Geoff Keegs the advantage he needs here. Can he get it going? Daniel Francis will unlap himself from Leon Fernie then in P5. Smoky Devil 8 seconds off the back of him. Rabbit Joe 5 seconds off the back of that as Fury leaves a session. Then P12 for Fury in this race, and no Triple Crown win for him. Son Goku ahead of DJ Phil by 22 seconds at the minute. Who pulls the trigger first, Kieran or Liam, for the intermediate tyre? Who's going to give it the shout?
I can't see. I've turned the game off in frustration. Who's
you actually can get back in the game with your invite, I do believe.
Can I?
Yeah, I think you can get back in with your invite. Liam, who do you think is going to pull the trigger on the intermediate tyre?
I honestly don't know, but I reckon it could either be between Mazda or Jamie. One of the 2.
Tyres 1 lap older than Mazda's, and the softs go about 15 to 26 laps here. With the rain not falling heavily just yet, it's going to be interesting. Mazda's 4 seconds ahead of Jamie. Jamie's had a bit of a... He's struggled since Mazda's got past him.
I think the pressure's got to him. He's comfortable in front of Mazda. As soon as he sees Mazda in front of him, he may be making some small mistakes here and there.
Yeah, he seemed to be alright in controlling this race, and Mazda got in front of him, and he's just seemed to drop off the pace of Mazda ever so slightly ever since Mazda's got ahead. But Lucas Roth, P3 on the mediums, his tyres are going to be cooling down massively at the moment. His car doesn't sound healthy, actually. Oh, he's flat out in gear 8. He's pitting. That'll be why he's coming into the pits. It doesn't sound healthy. Mazda's also pitted, so Liam was right. In fact, they're all coming into the pits now. Big Boy Brazier, Mazda, Lucas Roth, all in for that intermediate tyre. Now, Jamie's got clear of his penalty. That's held him in for the 5 seconds. So he'll be a bit closer to Keegs. He's even further off the back of Mazda now. Leon Fernie's coming into the pits. He's being held for 5 seconds. His penalty is gone. Daniel Francis, he's being held for 5 seconds. He will be done. Intermediate tyres on. Smoky Devil's coming in. He'll be held as well, as they hold him now and await that one. Rabbit Joe coming into the pits. Floyd very deep at the hairpin then. I imagine he's got to come in for his pit stop here. Rabbit Joe ahead of Smoky Devil, but Smoky Devil's tyres are on, and he's not away yet, is Smoky Devil. Rabbit Joe is gone, so he's gained a place in the pits. And you imagine Son Goku will come in. Down the straight he goes. Is he coming in? No, Floyd's staying out. Oh, no. Must have been a late call, because he's now dived into the pit lane. DJ Phil, what will he do? But Mazda has an 8-second lead here. See the spray starting to come, Liam. And you said Master or Jamie will be the first two to pit. Well, they both pitted at the same time.
Yeah, to be fair, usually you see people come in at the same time when it comes to leaders anyway. What,
Kieran, question for you. You obviously knew about the rain coming. Was the rain to last all race, or was it to dry up again towards the end?
It fed to the end. Fed to the end.
Oh, so we could possibly see the wet tyre come out, maybe.
Potentially, it's only light rain, if anything, but it will rain nonetheless.
That's going to be an interesting one to see. Son Goku stayed. He's come out the pits on the medium tyre here. DJ Phil stays on the medium tyre as well. 4 seconds behind Son Goku now. But these two are really going to need to start pitting here, as DJ Phil lets his teammate through and laps him. Big Boy Braces only got 2 seconds to Lucas Roth. DRS will be disabled while the weather is getting worse here. Oh, big snap there from Lucas Roth as he was coming through turn 5. And that is not what you want here. I've tried to get Dean into the commentary box. I presume he wasn't in. I presume he'd left the party and things.
No, he just went away from the mic, as far as I'm aware.
There we go then. Son Goku, DJ Phil, still the only two on the medium tyre, and it is hurting them at the minute, as that is Mazda trying to lap Floyd. Floyd needs to let Mazda through, and does so now. Yellow flag sector 1. And who is that sector 1? That's a yellow car. That's Smoky Devil in the wall. Not what he'd have wanted. Floyd now darts into the pits. Is this for the intermediate tyre? You'd imagine so. And Floyd here made his debut just before or just after Christmas at the 100% race of Mexico. Podium. Top 10. He's going to get a top 10 here. But it's another set of medium tyres. Someone needs to be telling him to get the intermediates on. What's DJ Phil going on? He's gone on the full wets. So Son Goku is not doing what he wants to. Kieran, are you back in the session?
Yeah, I can see the session now, yeah.
Can you just take over the commentary 2 seconds? I'm just going to sort Floyd's thing out, because it's obviously not doing his pit stops.
Okay. So, bear with me, I can only see what's on the stream and obviously what I've got in front of me, so I'm going to try and match up. Looks like people are starting to struggle in the wet conditions from what I can see on my screen. The Mazda's coming up to another back marker, I believe Smoky Devil.
And I'm back, and we finally got Son Goku's tyre strategy sorted. They've changed his wing, they've put him on the medium tyre. Thank you, Kieran and Liam.
Liam's gone, I believe.
Oh, we lost Liam from the party. I saw him leave the session. I'm not sure. Has he left the party, has he?
Yeah.
Oh dear, what a shame.
I couldn't see what you were showing on the stream, so I was trying to do best I could.
Yeah, that's fine.
Quiet and hazy as per se.
Daniel Francis and Smokey Devil still with time penalties then. As Mazda, when I was upstairs just helping Son Goku get the tyres changed, because he's obviously not a racer, he's only 9 years old, still struggling with the game. Mazda was saying that he's dancing through turn 1, so he's not having it all his own way, although he still leads. Son Goku gone onto the wet tyre then. With it getting wetter and wetter, put him on the more stable tyre. He's now 23 seconds off the back of DJ Phil.
There's bits of that Welshie there. I just feel over Fourth India body parts down the home straight on my screen.
Oh, I don't know. Welshie's out the race, so I'm not sure what that could be. Master then leads from Big Boy Brazier, Lucas Roth in 3rd, Leon Fernie's 4th, Daniel Francis P5 with Rabbit Joe 6th, Smokey Devil 7th, DJ Phil in 8th and Son Goku in P9th at the moment. So it'll be interesting to see what happens here then with the two guys on the wet tyre. Will they start to become a bit quicker than the leaders, or start matching their pace at least? The track's getting greasy, Kieran.
Yeah, you're feeling a lot. Obviously, I don't know what people run in traction control wise. I know some people run full, some people run off entirely, but there are a few kind of cars starting to slide.
Yeah, they really are. Like I say, I had Mazda on the headset saying that he's dancing through the corner, so he's obviously struggling. Joe's in the pits. He's gone full wet, so that's an interesting strategy here. Onto the full wet tyres for Rabbit Joe. So now, is that a trigger to the leaders then? He's 37 seconds off the back of Daniel Francis at the minute, who's a lap down on the top 4. But is that a strategy that we could see Smokey Devil 3-second time penalty for multiple track one? Are we going to see Smokey Devil and Daniel Francis in the pits for the wet tyre?
You might as well gamble it, as I say, because end of the day they're at the back of the pack anyway. Nothing to lose.
Indeed, that is the case. Wet qualifying, that was an interesting one, wasn't it? His yellow flags through the middle sector. Now is that the race leader? I believe it was. There was the race leader then with the yellow flags around him. So is that Joe's going a bit slow then? Is he coming? Master will be lapping him at any time now. Interesting to see that Smokey Devil still on the intermediates. He still kept going. Rabbit Joe then. Let's see now whether he'll be caught by Smokey Devil or whether he'll start to catch Daniel Francis as this race goes on. Master has 8 seconds to Big Boy Brazier. He's then a further 6 ahead of Lucas Roth, who's 16 ahead of Leon Fernie. Joe, 44 seconds off the back of Daniel Francis, 11 ahead of Smokey Devil. So let's see what the times will bring it. Joe pulling to the side to allow Mazda through, pulling way to the side as well to let Mazda through the corner, down the straight, sorry. As DJ Phil's pitting then for the intermediate tyre, so he's had enough of his wets. He's come back out the pits then, just ahead of Son Goku in P8 and P9. Son Goku on the wets. Now, Rabbit Joe pits for the wets. DJ Phil then comes back into the pits for the intermediate tyre. We're getting mixed signals from the drivers.
It's hard to tell which is probably the best condition at the moment. Intermediate seems to be working, but the wets are as well, so it's probably at that crossover stage. It
is certainly at a stage where intermediates could be better than the wet tyre. Yellow flag at turn 1. Oh, that's Smokey Devil that's had a problem, and that is Lucas Roth, I think, just put a lap on him. So Smokey Devil having a problem there then. He's 56 seconds ahead of DJ Phil, so let's keep our eyes on between DJ Phil and Son Goku then. Full wet versus intermediate. Let's see what these guys can do. But Mazda 8.4 ahead of Jamie. Jamie just starting to edge at that gap as well, Kieran. That gap just slightly coming down a little bit here. So is Mazda just starting to struggle a little bit on them intermediate tyres?
I think Mazda's come across a few back markers as well. I think that's not helped. And maybe you've had more trouble getting past than what maybe Jamie's had.
Jamie's still got to get past the Alfa Romeo of Rabbit Joe. Smokey Devil picks up another 3-second time penalty there, so that is not what he wants at all to add to his time at the end of this race. That's at least 9 seconds, I believe, now, and he's 56 ahead of DJ Phil, so he's got plenty of time at the moment. But so far, Kieran, who's been your driver of the day?
I think it's hard to separate Mazda and Big Boy Brazier at the moment because they are the class of the field. And then obviously then you go down again, Lucas Roth and Leon Fernie are the next two. It's been all in little individual groups. With the start I had, I was up with Lucas Roth, Leon Fernie, and a couple others. But then, like I said, made a mistake at the hairpin on that one.
Yeah. Well, that is Smoky Devil into the pits, and is he putting on? He's putting on the wet tyre here. So is he just starting to struggle? All them problems that he's had, him just starting to struggle. DJ Phil has gapped Son Goku a little bit, but is he finding it easier on the intermediate? Renault is coming out the pits now. DJ Phil will not get past Smoky Devil, but will be a lot closer to him. But and effectively on the quicker tyre, you'd argue. But if the track's starting to get really wet, you'd say that Smoky Devil's on the better tyre here, Kieran. You wouldn't want to be in DJ Phil's position. And if he pits again, DJ Phil, he could have Son Goku right on the back of him.
I think the better tyre now would probably be the wet out over the intermediate. But as I say, it doesn't look like it's raining heavily from where I'm. It's still rain, but it's not coming down as much.
As much, yeah, I know what you're saying. As we're on to lap 35 of 70 then. 9 drivers left in this one. So it's interesting to see, after a big pile-up from that Bozzy Boy and Argent coming together, we said to Walsh being taken out. Fury had lost it on his own as well. That Bozzy Boy went to the medium tyre so early, it was strange to see that one. Son Goku's pitting, and he's putting the intermediate tyre back on here, so real mixed signals here.
Maybe that's what Jeff told him to do, I believe.
Interesting if Jeff has told him to do that. We'll have to wait and see. But Son Goku putting the intermediate tyres back on. Let's see how the track's faring then. Jamie and Master Gap slowly coming down, a couple of tenths here and there as it just sort of balances itself out. Jamie then 8.3 off the back of Master. It was 8.5 a couple of laps ago, down to 8.1 now, you see. And I do feel that... Oh, sorry.
Smoky Devil just lost his wing on the Ball of Champions.
Oh, that's not what he wants on the full wets, losing your wing. You could have DJ Phil on the back. Yeah, he's lost a lot of that wing as well. Good chunk of the Renault wing gone. Obviously, Kieran, you drive the Renault on a Friday night over at Motive Racing, so you'll know how the Renault is and what it's like. Teammates with Dan, as it's a yellow flag, Sector 3, and that is one of the Haas cars. I don't know if it was Floyd there. He's lost an end plate, so he's also had contact with the horse. That could be another pit stop for Floyd then. Currently sat P9. So let's see what happens. Jamie's must have made a mistake somewhere, because he's lost a lot of time to Mazda. He's lost a second over the back end of that lap.
I say DJ Phil just hit a wall as well, coming round the second chicane.
I wonder if drivers are starting to struggle then. I wonder if the drivers down the back end of the grid, Kieran, are starting to struggle on this wet tyre. Rabbit Joe is a minute behind Daniel Francis on the full wet. Daniel Francis just coming out the final corner. Son Goku in the pits yet again here. So he's starting to struggle. Oh, Joe's had a big squirrely moment on the full wets, into the wall, wing gone. Here comes the Haas of Lucas Roth, and he makes his way through. Where is Rabbit Joe? He's trying to get this turned around. He is losing a lot of time here, is Rabbit Joe. He can't get it back round here. He can't seem to swing the car on. There's a Renault coming. Whoa, Joe's out! Joe is out. Yeah. He's been absolutely pummeled there. Was that Leon Fernie? Yeah, Leon Fernie. Joe was reversing across the circuit.
Yeah, Leon Fernie looks like he's okay though. He doesn't look like he's lost too much wing.
Virtual safety car, so the guys can back off here. Smoky Devil's got a drive-through penalty for speeding under the virtual safety car. The guys can back off and keep to the pace of the Delta. But Rabbit Joe there was reversing back and forth there. Leon Fernie wouldn't know which way to go.
No. That's the difficulty with some tracks, especially like this one being a street circuit, not much run off either side. It can be hard to get it pointed back around the right direction, especially on a blind corner.
Well, what that means now is that DJ Phil will go up to P7. Son Goku will go up to P8 when he gets past. And this is then where we can see something happen here.
So Leon Fernie's in the pits.
Yeah, so he's obviously got a bit of wing damage then.
Oh, someone... Daniel Francis just missed the last chicane completely there. Whether he outbraked himself or...
Yeah, well, that'll obviously keep an eye on the track limits. And he'll be receiving penalties. He's already got a 3-second penalty, I do believe.
Yeah.
To his name, so I'll have to see what he's what's going to happen there.
As well.
Yeah, that was for speeding on the virtual safety car. So we're down to 8 runners then. Floyd hasn't yet got past Rabbit Joe. He should get past him in just a moment here. But this is going to be the interesting thing to see what he's going to do now as we head into the mid part of this race. We're down to 8 runners. Kieran, then virtual safety car brought out by Joe, and really Joe's fault as well.
Yeah, it's a hard one for Joe. Obviously, you want to get back going again, but then also you want to be mindful of other cars coming. Whether he's not noticed the map or not, it's hard to say. But if it's on a blind corner, you can't sit there and wait forever. But you've got to be mindful of cars coming as well.
Yeah, you're exactly right then. So virtual safety car out. Everybody has to keep to a delta time then. Smoky Devil drive through, speeding under VSC. Is that another drive through penalty? Is it? That's Smoky Devil not getting the what he needs to do here. But we're seeing Master then coming up to lap his teammate once more here. Everybody's back on the intermediate tyre. Lucas Rod's pitting for a fresh set of intermediate tyres. So is Leon Fernie then. Now, virtual safety car has ended. Yeah, Lucas Roth and Leon Fernie changing tyres. That's an interesting strategy here. He's now 44 seconds behind Big Boy Brazier. But we're down to 9 runners. We've nearly lost half this. We're down to 8 runners. We've nearly lost half this grid. And what a shame as well. Not got the likes of Gary or Sutty out there tonight, so it was really between 2 or 3 men tonight, wasn't it? And with not having the likes of Gary and Sutty out on track has meant that Mazda and Jamie's sort of took it away from the others a little bit more, haven't they?
Yeah, you've not got that people bringing them back a bit compared to the others. I was hoping to be up there, but as I say, mistakes from myself and incidents of others haven't really done me any favours.
Yeah, completely get what you mean there then, as we are heading into the back end of this race. 30 laps to go, lap 40 of 70. Okay, this is for the Triple Crown, and join us live next week for the Daytona 500 in the NASCARs, as we've got a yellow flag sector 1. A Renault has had a problem there. Yeah, next week race Daytona 500 in the stock cars, race 2 of the Triple Crown. Then join us on the 30th, and the 30th of April at 9 PM will be the race start, as we go into then the 1st of May, which will be the end of the 24-hour event, 9 PM till 9 PM. Stay tuned, join us for that one throughout the evening. There'll be 4 parts to that. I hope you can join us for all 4 parts. Join us in the commentary box if you can as well. It'll be a pleasure to have you with us. Looks like we do have a full grid. That one as well, the 24-hour Nordschleife, will be in honour of Sabine Schmidt for Cancer Research UK. So please guys as well, there'll be a page up soon on the Facebook page to get some money donated for her and for such a good cause. Nordschleife in her honour. Lucas Roth then on the freshest of the tyres, him and Smoky Devil on 1 lap old intermediates. And what can he do from this position? Daniel Francis, after all of that, and with Leon Fernie pitting again, has actually got himself on the lead lap of Leon Fernie, so could actually find himself, in fact he's got himself on the lead lap altogether here, so could actually find himself trying to close in on the back of the Renault. The Renault is pretty much a lap ahead of him, but he could really find himself in a good position here going into this race. Leon Fernie going through down the back straight towards the final chicane. Daniel Francis coming across the start line. DJ Phil's a lap down on Daniel Francis. Smoky Devil's 19 seconds behind. Son Goku, oh, who's in the wall? Where's that at? That's at the hairpin, so he's gone too deep into the hairpin then. And for Floyd, maybe another pit stop for another wing, but he's top 8 and he's still going. 9-year-old Floyd. Say this is only his 2nd ever race. He's not doing too bad a job. DJ Phil, internet back on yesterday, so good to see DJ Phil back out on the circuits in the thick of the drama, as his teammates coming through to lap him once more here. And at the minute, you have to be pleased with your work so far today if you are Mazda. Jamie's closed that gap again though, Kieran.
Yeah, it's ebbing and flowing. It's not coming down massively, but it's coming up and down and hovering around the same sort of gap I've noticed. Around 8.5, 9 seconds.
interesting to see this. Join me tomorrow night in the commentary box live with Jamie Brazier for our ACC event. We've got I think 14-15 cars on the grid for that one. Should be an interesting one. Not done ACC at the Sim Play before, so just a special 1.5 hour race around Silverstone. Mazda G coming back to race for that one with Emo Guy and Andy, and Sutty Apex will be with us for that, and Phil, I think Monkey Boy and Peaceful Explosion, as Lucas Roth has picked up a 3-second time penalty, yellow flag at the final corner, and that looks to be a Williams. Oh yes, it is. Struggling to get into the pits, but pits now nonetheless, so we will go back a lap down to Leon Fernie, and just as he was maybe starting to make inroads on him, he's now going to lose out to Leon Fernie and be back a lap down on the car behind. This will allow DJ Phil to maybe
change a wing as well.
Oh yes, that's going to be an even longer pit stop. DJ Phil at the hairpin, he's not going to be able to get back ahead. Son Goku 1 minute 18 behind Smoky Devil. But Smoky Devil, don't forget, I think has a drive-through still to do, so he's still got bits to do at the moment. And out the pits comes Daniel Francis now. Gap back up to 8.9, so Mazda just increasing his gap ever so slightly over Jamie Brazier there.
Yeah, maybe if they lap traffic, I think now is going to come to a part. I can see from my screen Jamie Brazier's just coming up to the back of DJ Phil.
DJ Phil, yeah. Joe in the chat saying at least it wasn't lap 8. Yeah, at least it wasn't lap 8, but I mean, I don't quite get what you was doing when you was reversing back and forth across the track. I don't quite understand what you was doing there, but nonetheless, Mazda leading this race from Big Boy Brazier by 9 seconds. Lucas Roth 29 seconds behind Jamie. Leon Fernie P4, and it's a good result for Leon Fernie in this one at the moment. He's not normally a front runner on a Friday night at Motive, but he's doing well so far.
No, Mazda's now starting to bring that gap up a bit. It's gone above 9 seconds for the first time in a while.
Yeah.
Whether Jamie's tyres have decided they've had enough, I don't know what traction control they're both running. Which may be... If Jamie's not running any, Mazda's running some. Might be why.
Yeah, I wonder if... Mazda is on a... Oh no, they're both on 16-old lap intermediate tyres here, so... On the same... Oh yeah, they pitted the same lap, didn't they? So interesting to see. Keegs has brought the gap down a little bit, I noticed.
Like I say, could it be the lap traffic you're starting to hold up the leaders, or is it the tyres are starting to go off?
I'm looking... I've got the track map loaded. There's no traffic. Daniel Francis, the next car Mazda will come to, but he's away in front. Smoky Devil disqualified, ignoring his drive-through penalty, so he's been disqualified from the session then, so that'll put Son Goku P7, and we are down half the runners remaining in this race.
I thought I'd turn into the Friday night race we had last week on a Friday night.
It is indeed, isn't it?
Glad we didn't pick Monaco after all.
Oh, could you imagine if we had picked Monaco? We've got Liam back in the commentary box. Liam, nice of you to join us.
Hello.
How are we?
We'll leave that on a ...
You're racing tomorrow night. You looking forward to ACC?
Yeah and no. Because it's a different game and whatnot like that. No, because I've done literally no practice for it.
I'm sure you'll be fine. Silverstone, easy circuit, server's up and running if you want to head over to the server and get yourself on it. All day tomorrow as well to get practicing. 7 drivers left then, Liam. Smoky Devil getting disqualified, ignoring the blue flag. That's put you P12, give you another position.
Who?
Smoky Devil disqualified. That's gave you 1 extra position.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh.
Up to P12, you must be thrilled with that.
I'm gaining positions even though I've been DNF'd.
We've got 4 drivers here on the lead lap. 3 drivers a lap down. it's turning into a bit of a snooze fest, this one, I must admit.
It's all spread out, isn't it? I think, especially with the amount of DNF we've had, I haven't probably done it any favours with, like you say, 6 out of 7 DNF, 1 DF, 1 disqualification. Or 6 DNF, sorry, rather.
6 DNFs, 1 on the wet tyre. Liam, I don't know if you caught what happened with Joe and his DNF.
No, not actually, to be fair.
He managed to lose the rear of the car and then was reversing and going forward to try and get the car turned around as Leon Fernie was coming. Leon Fernie didn't know which way to go and ploughed into the side of Joe, and Joe lost his wheel.
Wow.
Yeah. It was a strange one. We just got on board with Joe, and then all of a sudden we saw this Renault just plough through the middle of him. But
wow.
Yeah, Mazda leads this race. 18 lap old intermediate tyres. How far do you reckon the Inters can go here, Kieran?
I reckon they're going to need at least one more set of intermediates. I don't think they can go to the end. I think how long they've been on. To check how long they've been on these tyres.
18 laps.
18 laps. So I'd say changing. I reckon they'll have to change if they're going to go half and half. I think they've got to change in a lap or so. But it depends on the tyre. Well, if we have just pulled another 2 seconds on Big Boy Bravia, now up to 11 seconds.
Yeah, Mazda is starting to now get the best out of tyres. I reckon he's been tyre saving a bit here in this race. I'll tell you what, Liam, if you were still in this race, you'd be on the prime position on your intermediate tyres that you crashed out on.
I don't know what you're on about. I'm still gaining positions.
Gaining positions, even though you've... Now, Kieran's actually got another position because of that as well. So Kieran's made the top 10. Joe's got P8. Walsh's 9th. Fiori's gone up to 11th. Dean's got 13th.
As I say, I was on a fight back with the mistakes at the start, and obviously that's what happens when you get caught up with the back, well, not necessarily fan their back markers, but when you happen to make efforts to overtake, it's just incidents can happen.
Incidents can happen. Mazda has an 11-second lead. That Bozzy boy back into the session, so we'll be able to see what we're seeing as well. So it's good to see Liam back here, proper commentating that, as Mazda puts another lap on Daniel Francis then. So Daniel Francis at the minute, gap to the leader. Floyd 4 laps down, DJ Phil 3 laps down, Daniel Francis now 2 laps down, Leon Fernie nearly a lap down here then, leaving the top 3 cars on the lead lap. Daniel Francis another 3-second time penalty there then at the chicane where you said he was hopping earlier, and you said that the track's not going to dry here. Do you think the next pit stop will be for wets?
I think it'd be another. I don't think it's getting for wets. I think it'd be another intermediate set. I think. I don't think Mazda or Jamie will go on to, or Big Will Bravely will go on to the wets. I'll be surprised if they do, but I don't think the conditions are getting any worse. Yeah,
it's going to be an interesting one to see what these guys are going to do here. But at the moment, Mazda in control of this race, and has really been in control with it since he got past Jamie, like we said a moment ago, Kieran.
Yeah, I think, like I say, I think the mistakes maybe started happening for Jamie once Mazda got past, because we know we've got to try and keep up rather than keeping behind, but who knows.
Obviously Liam might be starting F1 League. You yourself have said you'd love to take part in it on a Saturday night. I think a bit more practice is going to have to go in, isn't it, bud?
Yeah, definitely.
While I've got you two guys here, obviously season 3 is around the corner. We're a couple of weeks away from that. Have we got any announcements to be made yet, or are we keeping them hidden still, or?
I'm 90. I've not spoken to the person for a couple of weeks since the end of season 2, but I'm pretty much set with one driver dropping down from the pro to the pro-am.
Car? Or
looking at keeping the Mercedes, but as I say, nothing. As much as we've agreed and we've spoke about it, we've not spoken to each other for over 2 weeks. So plans could maybe change. I don't know.
As the leaders
nothing's finally delivered yet, as they say.
We'll keep our eyes out for your news then, as the leaders have come into the pits. 20 laps they got on them tyres, so that'll put us to lap 49. I think they should get them to the end, shouldn't they? 21 laps remaining in the race. Liam, same to you. Have you got a teammate sorted? Any news you can confirm, or is it still
I've got a teammate. We haven't confirmed the car, but I don't want to say anything yet. Purely for the reason I'm not sure if I'm allowed to.
So both drivers with teammates and potentially cars. Not 100% certain.
As I say, we're 99% complete. As I say, it's just now doing the finer detail of like we've both looked at liveries and both fed liveries, but I've not been on to change or to try out the liveries and feel what they look like with the arrows and the proximity meters. Sometimes you can't see them on certain liveries.
Yeah, Master went a bit deep into the hairpin there. Liam, obviously you'll be doing the 24-hour event. This is a yellow flag at Sector 1. That's Leon Fernie's had a spin coming out to Turn 1. And that will not be what he wants. And it's Daniel Francis will be coming to unlap himself from Leon Fernie, who is nearly a lap down. Yeah, Liam, you'll obviously be doing the 24-hour event. For you, what are you looking to achieve out of that round such a difficult Nordschleife track?
Well, just from the last 24-hour race, I would like to just start by saying I won't be getting disqualified. That's the main objective.
What are you hoping to achieve from it, though? What are you hoping to come away with at the end of the 24-hour event? Yeah,
at least mid, if possible.
Mid-pack finish, interesting. Will you be... Keegs very squirrely coming out of Turn 1 there. 11 lap old intermediates. Now Keegs and Leon Fernie's going to have to pit again here. DJ Phil as well is going to have to pit again. He's...
DJ Phil going well, 16 laps on them intermediates.
Yeah, Master and Jamie got 20 laps out of them, so we'll have to keep an eye on what DJ Phil's doing. I assume, are you going to be... Keegs all over the grass there. He's struggling on the Mtcc. Keegs, is he just getting a bit too wet out there, I wonder, because he's just starting to squirrel a little bit on them intermediates. Yellow flag at the hairpin, and that Son Goku may be going a bit deep as he stays out of Jamie's way. Then Son Goku P7 at the moment, so still going. Are you going to be doing the Daytona 24? The Daytona 24, the Daytona 500, Leo?
As far as I'm hoping to, yes.
Yeah. And if so, oval racing. We saw you not have the best of Indy 500s, but obviously you just got the wheel and you was learning the wheel. What are you hoping to achieve in the Daytona 500?
Mid-pack again. I'm fine with being mid-pack in anything, if I'm going to be honest.
Fair enough. Kieran, are you going to be hoping to join us for the Daytona 500?
I'm looking at obviously outside commitments, obviously. With things now opening back up, my schedule will be back to normal, so I'm not available most nights than I was before. But I'll have a look at the calendar and see what I can do. If not, I'm always happy to come and join you.
It's a bit brilliant to have commentary.
Whether it'll be at the start or halfway through, I don't know.
It'll be brilliant to have you either in the commentary box or out on track. I'm sure either way will be fantastic. Shame you can't be with us tomorrow night, because I know I'd love to have had a go around Silverstone. Few drivers not raced ACC yet. There's another yellow flag. I think that's Floyd's had a bit of a big spin there, middle sector. He's got a McLaren coming, and that is DJ Phil. As Floyd gets it pointing in the right direction, here comes DJ Phil and sails past him to lap Floyd once again. 17 laps DJ Phil's done on them tyres now, and for him, not a bad outing for DJ Phil. Top 6, he's kept it on the road at least, hasn't he?
Yeah, it's just the main thing. End of day, point for being private. If you don't finish, you don't score. So, you know, as much as it's only a fun event, you still want to get the checkered flag. Yeah, exactly, 100%. You want to make the checkered flag, and how did that go for you two? I don't know, half Liam.
In fact, has that gone for half the field, because half the field hasn't made the checkered flag at all. One disqualified, 60 NFs. And look at them, all of them on a different every tyre compound is represented in that DNF section. Wets, mediums, hard, soft and intermediate tyre. Brilliant. Well, she didn't even do a lap on the medium compound tyres before he DNF'd. But Son Goku in the pits, obviously to change the wing. He's having a go, bless him. He's gone on to 4 lap old intermediate tyres. Big boy Brazier is 11 seconds off the back of Mazda, and since the pit stop again, he's really struggled.
hovering between 11 and 12 seconds. I have kept an eye on it. I don't know if you're feeling if there's still half a broken car down the home straight. I don't know if it's not just from my screen.
Yeah, I see that as well.
Big Boy Brazier 34 seconds ahead of Lucas Roth as well. Leon Fernie nearly a full lap down. And it has just fizzled out, hasn't it? This race since we lost 7 guys, it's just fizzled out a bit, hasn't it?
It's become a parade of such rather than an actual race, due to the gaps between Mazda and James Brazier.
And I think because Mazda's, I think because Mazda's had such good pace, he's pulled that bigger gap over Jamie, that he's just kind of finishing this to get round, and as he's put another lap on Daniel Francis and Son Goku, and he's about to lap Leon Fernie for the first time in this race. Because Mazda's so far ahead of Big Boy Brazier, it is just kind of now, we've lost that fight we wanted.
Yeah, no, I say when Jamie was in front of Mazda, it seemed, again, I wasn't able to watch at the time due to being on track myself, but yeah, that's what we wanted to see. They were the two favourites or two front runners that we wanted to see the battle of, but as soon as Mazda's got past, it sort of eked out a bit too much.
Yeah, indeed it has. Here as round turn 1 he goes again for the 54th out of 70th time. Here comes Big Boy Brazier then. P2, 11 seconds. Daniel Francis picks up another 3-second penalty here. So there's a few drivers with penalties. Lucas Roth coming to complete his lap. Leon Fernie is now a lap down. Daniel Francis P5. DJ Phil's P6. Son Goku's P7. Son Goku, bless him, 9 years of age, still going out there on track. He doesn't really race that often. Wanted to do tonight, and it's nice to see him out there at such a young age, getting some laps under his belt, and he's done better than you guys.
I think I just had half a lap of hell, I think, because...
I say that, he's had a big moment into the wall of Son Goku there, and he'll try and get it going again.
Reversing.
Yeah, just struggling, bless him. Not easy for him in the wet conditions, and... hopefully the guy, obviously you're all in one party tonight, so hopefully the guys are giving him a helping hand in there as well. You know, he's obviously not...
I know Keith was helping him in the qualifying, getting onto the change of tyre or a different tyre in qualifying. So we all know who he is and how old he is. So everyone was trying to help him where they could.
DJ Phil has gone 20 laps on them intermediate tyres. So at the end of this lap,
can't go much longer. Sure.
Yeah, well, at the end of lap 20 for Mazda and Jamie, they both pitted. Now, what does DJ Phil do? Son Goku into the pits then to replace his front wing. He's kept going and plodding along till the end. But no Alfa Romeo finished, no Pink Panthers finished, only one Williams will finish, one Renault will finish, and one Mercedes will finish at the moment. Well, I suppose the Pink Panthers, you must have both been driving Gary's cars of recent weeks over at Motive Racing, because... Gary doesn't tend to finish races, as we know.
No, we know that. So, I was trying to remember if Gary actually finished this race.
I think he did finish Canada. I think he finished
Canada. I thought he crashed.
Did he? I don't know. He's not here to find out neither. What a shame as well. DJ Phil does come into the pit, so it looks like the lifespan is 20 laps on the Minties. Mazda and Big Boy Brazier are going to have to go 21, so they could be pushing the limit of them intermediate tyres come the end of this race. Lucas Roth and Leon Fernie's on 16 laps. Mazda then 11.5 seconds in the lead, and is currently pulling away a massive amount. Kieran, are you alright to just take over? I'm just going to pop for a quick toilet break.
Yeah. So, like we said before, the gap between Mazda and Big Boy Brazier hovering around the 12-second mark. Starting to pull a gap on Lucas Roth, or Keith as we know him. Leon Fernie also gap around another 20 seconds back to Leon Fernie in fourth. But as we thought, DJ Phil have also come into the pits for a new set of intermediates as well.
I also believe he actually fixed his wing as well as when he was in pit, because I also realised there was a bit of wing damage while hovering over him.
Yeah. So Mav, Big Boy Broker had a moment because Mav just pulled a second on Jamie.
I didn't see anything.
Fungoku just hit the wall. The gap's gone from 11 points, I think, just over 12 and a half, just up nearly 13 seconds. So maybe Jamie run on or run wide, or I can't see any visible damage on Jamie's car.
Yeah, I think he's got a bit of wing damage, if I'm correct. No? A bit harder to see, to be fair, when you've got a car going at 200 and something miles per hour.
Jamie is starting to lag a bit on my screen, so it could be that he's lagged into a wall, maybe. Call for damage, I don't know, but
That could be a possibility.
And I'm back. Have I missed anything, gentlemen?
we were just saying, Mav just pulled almost 2 seconds on Jamie.
Oh, that is a strange one. Jamie looks to have all his wing intact. There's Lucas Ross pitting. Only 17 laps done on them intermediate tyres, so Lucas Ross not getting the full 20 out of his tyres. Daniel Francis, another time penalty there. That's not going to help him out at all. Leon Fernie's gone 18 laps on them inters. Lucas Ross nearly a lap down here. Master flying at the minute. Nearly a full lap ahead of P3. Floyd seeming to be struggling. Just heard from upstairs that they're asking for a bit of help on terms of why Jeff keeps telling him to change strategy and stuff, and apparently there's no response. So hopefully that's not the case, and that the guys in the other party are helping Floyd out. Obviously, young lad. I know we're trying to test things here at Simplay for next season, but young lad nonetheless. Daniel Francis back into the pits now. I wonder if guys are pitting now to get to the end on them tyres. 14 laps. He'd have only got 6 laps left done on them tyres.
Daniel Francis did need a new front wing, so it could be more that than anything else.
There we go then. DJ Phil, P6, just unlapped himself a little bit from Daniel Francis. If we check the gap between intervals, he's only a lap down on Daniel Francis. Son Goku 2 laps down on him.
Come out side by side though.
Bit of Haas on Haas action here as Keegs has put a lap on Son Goku. Master, yeah, you're right. He seems to be pulling a slight bit away from Jamie here. Is Jamie just starting to struggle, maybe?
Most possibly.
Son Goku then back into the pits. Is that for another front wing? What a shame for him. He's not had the race. We'll get a top 7, which is still a good finish to his race.
I'm just on board with Fungoku now to see if it's another front wing as well.
Yeah, another front wing. So he's done well. He's 4 laps down, but or he'll be 5 laps down in a moment. But nonetheless, he's still managed to keep going in this one, and he's plugged away till the end. As Mazda starts lap 59, 10 laps on them tyres. He's took another second out of Jamie's time here.
I'm trying to look at Jamie to compare if he's got any damage, but I can't see anything visible on our screens.
No, I don't know if Liam's picking anything up, but I'm certainly not.
I'm looking at Jamie's times, to be fair. I realised he came into 14 seconds a little bit, and then he pulled about a couple tenths back up, and then he's just dropping down again, like he's nearly on 15 seconds down again.
Big Boy Brave is now having to fuel save maybe in the way
potentially
later in the race.
Yeah,
potentially. That could be the case at the moment. If so, that's not going the way he'd have wanted it to, is it? He wanted to be on the back of Mazda towards the end of this one, and instead he's having to fuel save. He's lost near enough another second. Leaders on lap 59. Beth, 11 to go in this race. Obviously she sat upstairs helping Floyd out. And here then Brazier, he's losing a lot of time. Just watched him this lap. He's lost about 7 tenths already to Mazda Look. He's definitely got to be fuel saving for me, Kieran.
Yeah, I can't see anything else. I can't see no visible damage on that front wing. I left Mazda have found something else and left Mazda have turned up or Jamie have turned down in the engine mode.
Yeah, Son Goku's just got a 3-second time penalty for track limits. That's his first penalty of the race. As there is yellow flags at the exit of turn 1. That's Floyd again. Yeah, it's Floyd off once again here. Just starting to struggle is Floyd a bit now. As Mazda is now 16 seconds ahead of Jamie. And now let's just change the gap to interval here. Is Keegs catching him? 53 seconds in 10 laps is probably not doable. But this is going to be something that...
yeah, I think Jamie's maybe realised you've got minor negative fuel, and that's why he's backed off. That's the only thing I can think of, because the fuel level was coming down. When I had my incident, I was at 0.9 in the green.
Yeah.
And obviously they've gone another 10, 15, maybe 20 laps more than I did, so they may be hitting that point now where they need to start
saving that bit of fuel. Yellow flag sector 3. That it looks to be, yeah, Son Goku's just gone deep at the hairpin then. So he's just starting to struggle, is Floyd. Maybe the 100% a bit too long for him, as Daniel Francis and DJ Phil are coming up to catch him and put a lap. Beth just said, don't know about helping him, I've not got a clue in the chat. Lap 61, and Jamie's gap stayed around 16.2 seconds here. Now I have to take hats off to Mazda, he's flew in this race.
I'm just trying to watch Mazda and seeing potentially where he's building the time, looking at the gap to Jamie. I know it's not going to be retrospective of where Jamie is on the circuit, but just trying to find out where it grows the most.
Well, Jamie's just pulled 2 tenths back in that middle sector.
He should pull a bit more now to Mazda's at the hairpin.
Yeah,
but it doesn't come down all that much.
No, it's not coming down all that much, is it? So it's a strange one.
If anything, it's going up. I think Jamie's got to the hairpin.
Yeah, as Mazda just looked after his tyres a little bit better than Jamie Brazier, and that's what we're seeing here. Mazda just really doing well on his tyre saving, and he's able to really have a good go at attacking the track in the wet. Like I say, is Jamie fuel saving as well? Does Mazda not need to fuel save? Did he fuel save early on? Because we saw Mazda not get the best of starts, and he dropped well off the back of Fury and Brazier, and it did take him a while before he got back on the back of Jamie Brazier and really started to attack him. So Mazda here, lap 13 on these tyres as well, so these tyres might be starting to feel a bit worse for wear here. And don't forget, he's got to go 21 laps on these tyres, not just 20 laps. Leon Fernie though, hats off to him, he's done 22 laps on this set of tyre.
Daniel Francis has hit the Wall of Champions.
Oh dear, that's not where you want to hit. Leon Fernie here is still going on them tyres, 22 lap old. And is he going to dart into the pits now? He's going to make it 23 laps on them intermediate tyres, so he is still going for it.
The question is, how long are those tyres going to last from where he is at the moment with 8 laps as it is to go?
Yeah, he's not going to want to have a tyre pop, is he, early in the lap? And then Daniel Francis, I know he's a minute 7 behind, but how long will it take him in the wet to get a pop tyre back round to the pits, change it and get out the pits? 23 laps on these tyres. He does seem to be taking it a bit easy. Daniel Francis is closing that gap, albeit a 1:06 gap. But could we see the Williams attacking the Renault at the end of this race? A possible puncher for Leon Fernie. Let's just keep our eyes on him and see what he can do. He's got no end plates on that front wing on either side, so he's got wing damage as well. And I mean, a splash and dash pit stop here, change the tyres front wing, is not going to be enough for Daniel Francis to catch him here. No. Surely he's better off pitting.
You lose about 20-30 seconds in a pit stop. I worked it out before.
Yeah, surely you're better off getting them inters off and getting in for fresh rubber.
Okay, Daniel Francis is not in. Daniel Francis is cutting that chicane a bit too much, but it's not giving him a warning or a penalty at the moment.
Maybe just a couple of warnings. We only see when the penalties pop up. Fernie. Let's see if he comes in this time. Lap 23 of these tyres. And he's got clear track in front. The 2 Hasses are behind. He's going again. Oh, is he? Is he? Oh, he got the chicane horribly wrong. Now that's a couple of corners Leon Fernie's got wrong then. I reckon he's starting to struggle out there as Son Goku has been lapped by his teammate in the other Hass, and there's a bit of screen time for both the Haas cars then, as that is Mazda coming to lap them both in just a moment. But you would not want to punch Leon Fernie off at the exit of turn 2. Lost a bit more wind.
Struggling on those tyres.
The fronts don't look popped to me, the rears don't look too bad either, but he's struggling.
Doesn't sound like they're popped, but
nah, he's going.
He's got no front wing.
Yeah, that's Keegs putting a lap on him. And Leon Fernie here. Oh, he's always deep. Always deep into the wall.
There goes the rest of the front wing.
Yeah, and Floyd and Masters coming round, so he's got to make sure that he doesn't collect them. And I tell you what, Daniel Francis has got that gap down to 58 seconds.
Especially with 3/4 of a lap to go, it could be anything.
A couple more spins here.
Daniel Francis is in the pit as well.
Oh, he is pitting. Oh, what a shame. Well, that could have been that battle over. Leon Fernie, and we'll keep that one. I know 54 seconds is a long time, but a few mistakes from Leon Fernie.
Sort of straight, so.
Yeah, Leon Fernie really starting to. Yeah, he's really struggling here. Lap 64 of 70. Jamie's pulled that gap down a bit here.
Oh yeah, he's
gap down to 14.8 now. Wasn't that the traffic of Leon Fernie and Floyd that Mazda had to get through? Now Leon Fernie surely is going to dive into the pits. He's not. He's going to keep going. And you can see the struggle of no front wing. How much he's struggling to turn that car. Now, if Daniel Francis didn't pit, what could have been? I mean, what could still technically be a 1 minute 11. Let's see the rate of knots that Daniel. 1 minute 4 is the gap. Let's see the rate of knots that Daniel catches Leon Fernie here. For Leon Fernie, he's really got to make sure he keeps out in front. The gap's already down to 1 minute 2. Leon Fernie's only through turn 1 and 2. Daniel's coming up on the track map. Oh, he's pushing, and he's got another time penalty. Gap's down to 1 minute. And has Leon Fernie got a pop tyre? No, doesn't sound like it.
He hasn't got any front wing though, from what I can see.
Yeah, no, he's got no front wing. But surely he's got to come in. Daniel Francis is catching that quick that the more mistakes Leon Fernie's going to make here, the quicker Daniel Francis is going to be on the back of him. Surely, Liam.
I'm quite shocked he didn't go in on that last lap, if I'm going to be honest. Especially after clouting the wall, taking his front wing off. 25 lap old tyres as well.
I'm really quite confused as to what Leon Fernie's strategy is here. Daniel Francis has that gap down to 52 seconds. If Daniel didn't pit, imagine what the gap would be now. 4 laps to go of the leaders, don't forget. These guys are laps down. Daniel Francis now has the gap under 50 seconds. Has to get past and pull ahead of Leon Fernie. Now let's see, does Leon Fernie pit this time around? Because Daniel Francis is really starting to close in here. And he's not pitting, Liam.
No.
Oh, and a big cut there. Now, I'm surprised that's not track limits, but he's not pitting.
No, I from what it looks like, he's trying to push to the end on that. I personally would have been in the pits on that lap, but
yellow flag, sector 1, and I think Son Goku's just made a mistake somewhere as he was lapping Big Boy, maybe pulled out the way to lap Big Boy Brazier and Leo Fernie straight on. So he's really struggling now, Liam, and he's really got to make sure he's got a pit. Surely the gap's down to 42 seconds. Daniel Francis is going to have a lot of time penalties to his name, but surely he could get ahead of Leon Fernie here. Mazda's got the gap back up to 16.7, so whatever Mazda did that one lap, I assume it was the traffic, because Jamie's now got past the traffic and that gap sort of balanced itself back out. Daniel's at turn 1 and 2. Leon Fernie's only halfway around this lap at the moment. 40 seconds is the gap. Daniel will be pushing like mad, you'd imagine, at the moment. Leon is just struggling here.
Yeah, if I was Daniel, I'd be pushing as much as I can. It's getting late in the race, with obviously 3 laps to go, in fact. But surely he needs to pit to keep his position as it is.
Yeah, I don't quite get what Leon Fernie is trying to do here. He's I mean, hey, good on him for making the tyres last this long, but the front wing is definitely the part that's costing you, and he's still not going into the pits and still cannot get the car turned in through the chicane at the end. He's having to cut it majorly. That will be warnings and surely be telling him, look, you can't keep cutting the corner here. One more cut and it may be a time penalty, but with lap 67, we're about to start lap 68 in a moment. Mazda's at the hairpin now. Daniel Francis is only 25 seconds behind and maybe possibly looking at getting to Leon Fernie and getting ahead of him. Leon Fernie possibly throwing away a top 4 finish. Again across the grass.
He's cutting quite a lot of corners.
Right, so Daniel Francis has just put in the check. He's got 15 seconds worth of penalties. So he's got to finish 15 seconds ahead of Leon Fernie. He's taking more than 15 seconds out of Leon Fernie a lap here at the moment, as we're joined in the commentary box by Dean Wysocki at the moment. Daniel Francis here for Team Williams, who was obviously teammates with Dean at the beginning of the night, could here be on for a P4. And Liam here, Daniel's chopping the time away with Leon Fernie not coming in the pits at the moment. And there's a bit of another corner cut. Surely the warnings are piling up here.
Yeah, at this point, I'm surprised he hasn't got a penalty, if I'm going to be honest.
Yeah, me as well. Into the hairpin he comes now. He's got to get it stopped, got to get it turned in. The problem is, Kieran said a moment ago, it was 20 seconds worth of a pit stop. Daniel is under 20 seconds behind Leon Fernie. That's a pit stop without possibly a wing change. If Leon Fernie keeps going here, as I've just dropped the pad, I've done a well sheet. Leon Fernie at the moment is struggling to keep this car going, and he's staying out. I mean, he's got the chicane done this time, but surely them tyres are going to be screaming at him at this point. And Leon Fernie at the moment is doing enough. Is he doing enough? He's 18 seconds ahead, lap 68 of 70. Mazda's about to start the penultimate lap of the race in just a moment. And Daniel Francis 17 seconds, but he's got to get that 17 seconds as Leon Fernie big slide out of turn 1. The gap's now down to 15.6. Daniel Francis has got to get that gap and then pull away. Leon Fernie is really struggling. Look at the time come down. Mazda has extended his gap even more, an extra second over Big Boy Brazier. Here's Leon Fernie. That's DJ Phil passing Leon Fernie there then. And the gap now, what's the gap? 12.4 seconds. Daniel Francis could quite easily do this. What he doesn't need is he doesn't need Mazda to lap him.
Yeah.
He's got Keegs just in front of him. Mazda's just behind Daniel Francis. He does not need Daniel Francis to lap him here. Daniel Francis needs to stay ahead of Mazda. The gap's down to 8.2 seconds. It's coming down even more. It's now down to 6.9. Daniel Francis is now 6.5 seconds off the back. He'll probably be able to see the back of Leon Fernie. And as these guys are going to head onto their potential penultimate lap, if Mazda stays behind Daniel Francis, these will get 2 more laps out of this. If Mazda laps Daniel Francis will only get the next lap in. So Mazda, don't ruin this one as Leon Fernie again having to cut the chicane. Oh, and he's hit the wall. He's out. He's out the race. He's out the race. Leon Fernie has crashed out, which will give Daniel Francis P4. It'll give DJ Phil P5. It'll give Son Goku, I do believe, P7 by the end of this race. But the battle we was after, Leon Fernie there struggling with his tyre, and that was coming, Liam.
Yeah. He must be heartbroken right now.
Jamie really trying to put the hammer down and nearly caught the back of that car. And Son Goku's coming up to it now. He could do with being a bit cautious coming through the final couple of corners. Although the yellow flags have gone, the car has been clear. But we're on the final lap then. You take nothing away from this man's drive, Mazda, can you? He's been brilliant.
Oh, definitely.
Down through the final, at the mid part of the track for the final time. And he's coming down towards the hairpin for the final time as well. So Daniel Francis then, gifted P4. Will Leon Fernie keep on to P5? I don't think Son Goku will get ahead of him because of how many laps he was behind, but he may lose out to DJ Phil. But Leon Fernie could have been P4. He's now going to finish P5 at least, maybe P6. But this is the man who's going to take the first part of the Triple Crown his way. Mazda is going to be the one who's going to be 2 wins away from the Triple Crown then at Simplay Motorsport. And here he comes then. He's going to cross the line and win the 100% race of Canada. Only just under half the grid finish. Mazda wins the race. And that's part one of the Triple Crown done for him. Big Boy Brazier, 17.2 behind. Mazda's been dominant, Liam.
Oh yeah, definitely. Hands off to him, if I'm going to be honest.
Daniel Francis crosses the line. Sorry there, P4. Big Boy Brazier crosses the line, P2. Lucas Roth is P3 at the moment. Yeah, what was you saying? Sorry.
Oh, nah, I was just saying hands off to him. Great drive.
Yeah, great drive. Indeed, great drive for this little one as well. 9 years of age, Son Goku. Getting to the end, getting the full distance in. Although he was a couple of laps down on the leader, he's got 60 odd laps in the tank. And we'll come home to finish P7, so a good little drive for Son Goku there. Daniel Francis P4. DJ Phil is going to take a P5. He's just ahead of Keegs on the road, so the McLaren boys getting a great result here. As Keegs has actually made a mistake somewhere. Oh,
he's doing donuts.
Yeah, he's doing donuts. DJ Phil is going to take P6. He's got P3 as Keegs, as Lucas Roth then. We're just waiting for him to cross the line. While I pushed too hard and I had 40% damage on the left front wing, I was actually slower than I could be. It says Daniel Francis. So that's how hard. That goes to show you how hard he was. Few donuts there from Lucas Roth, the King on Welsh account. And he's going to now fly home to take P3. Who's your driver of the day, Liam?
I'd have to give it to. I'd have to say Mazda.
I'm going to say Mazda with you, but I think the game might give it to Son Goku from the back to P7. DJ Phil did get 5th from Leon Fernie, so Leon Fernie will finish in 6th place. Lucas Roth's going to spin across the line, so that's us done. Mazda is your race winner for part one of the Triple Crown. Join us tomorrow night for 1 hour 30-minute race around Silverstone. The 20-minute qualifying in ACC. Rabbit Joe actually got given the driver of the day. I think unjustified for Rabbit Joe. There are a few problems and reversing back and forth on the grid. Mazda for driver of the day for myself and Liam. As we'll see the champagne flowing in just a moment. And Mazda, Liam, has got to be the favourite for the Triple Crown. Now, obviously, no one else can win it now that Mazda's got the first win in the bag. If anyone else wins another race, Mazda will have to wait. They'll all have to wait till next season for the Triple Crown. But Daytona 500 oval racing, anything can happen in that, can't it? Over 200 laps.
Oh, definitely.
Do you think Mazda's one to put down as favourite in that one, or are the others maybe like Jamie, Gary, definitely. Yourself, Dean, others that could do it?
I think it could be a close fight between Jamie, Mazda, Chuck Gary in there as well.
Well, there is your final classification then. Mazda 917 taking the race win in the fastest lap. The Big Boy Brazier, Lucas Roth, Daniel Francis, DJ Phil Green, Leon Fernie will take 6th. Son Goku finishes in P7 with Rabbit Joe in 8th. Welshie 9th. Argent 10th. Fury 11th with That Bozzy Boy 12th. Dean Wasaki 13th. And Smoky Devil P14 after getting disqualified. That was stressful, says Bethany Duffy. That was fun, says Jamie Brazier. Take Mazda out at Daytona. Got you, says Daniel Francis. Liam, any final words from yourself?
No, and just subscribe.
Yeah, hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Join us tomorrow night 8 PM for 1 hour 30-minute race around Silverstone on ACC for the first time Simplay doing ACC. But from all of us here at Simplay Motorsport, you take care and good night. Right, let's get out twat in here.